The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
There was a choshev Yid in Eretz Yisrael that lived b'tzimtzum, very poor. And it came a point where they needed more money to live. There's nothing more that you can't quetch the stone more than it is. And his wife said that she has an idea. She's going to open up a kindergarten. The husband says, we don't have room in our house for a kindergarten. She says, listen here. It's Eretz Yisrael. Beautiful weather. 90 out of 100 days you can have the gan outside. Those 10 days that we have to be inside, so we'll be inside, we'll fetch a little bit. She says, yeah, but the outside belongs to everybody. She says, so we'll get permission. So she and her husband went in the whole building. There's 18 people living there. And they knocked on every door and they said, listen here. My Rebbetzin wants to open up a gan, and we're going to use the outside garden to have the gan. Would it be a problem? Are you maskim? And everybody said, for sure, whatever you need, we're happy to help you. And he had a paper there written down that I'm maskim. I have no problem with them making a gan in the shared garden. I'm not charging them any money. And they signed the name. And he went from neighbor to neighbor. Everybody signed. These were tzaddikim. Everybody knew them. Showing. The Rebbetzin went and hung up a sign. I'm opening up a gan next year. It's going to be outside of my garden. On rainy days, it's going to be in my apartment. Whoever was interested should please slip an envelope with your name and age of your child under my door. And within 2 hours, she had her limit, 12 children. She put up a sign on the door that my gan is full to capacity. I'm very sorry. Thank you very much. And she went out to buy all the stuff that she needs for the gan. And it came all of a sudden, 2 weeks before the new year starting. And one of the Yingalite in the building came over to this tzaddik and says, Rabbi Yid, I feel so bad, but I think I have to back out from my agreement. And he says, really? Why? He says, because my wife, she developed high blood pressure, and I'm scared that all the noise and the fighting and the crying and the children, it's going to disturb her. It's not healthy. Plus, unfortunately, I have 3 children that went off the derech. I'm trying so hard to get them back on. And if they're going to see that you made a gan outside and my wife is hurting from it, they're going to go even further off the derech. So the Yid says, I hear you and I feel your pain. And I'm asking him to even back out. But I think that before we do this, let's go to a Rav. Let's go to your Rav. Whatever he says, I'm going to follow. So they went to the Rav, his Rav, and his Rav listened to the case and said, let me see the paper. And they showed him the paper where he signed. And the Rav tells him, you signed. How could you back out? You can't back out. And the guy says, yeah, but it's a medical issue. It's a shiloh, and the kids are off the derech. So the Rav said, listen here. I could tell you one thing. I know you have good reasons why you want to back out. But be mavater. And when you're mavater, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to pay you back. He'll pay you back that your wife will be gesund. He'll pay you back that your kids will come back on the derech. What do you have to lose? And the Yid said, if that's what the Rav's paskening, I'm asking him 100%. And they each went home. And he opened up a gan. And life went on for many, many years. And Rabbi Yitzchok Zilberstein said now, that one night, at 12 o'clock at night, he gets a knock on his door. And who's there? This Yid. This Yid that his wife had a high blood pressure. His 3 kids went off the derech. And he tells Rabbi Yitzchok Zilberstein the whole story. And he tells him, I want you to know that I'm coming back now from the chasana of my 3rd son. They all came back on the derech. And Rabbi Yitzchok Zilberstein told him, stop. Don't even tell me the name of the Rav. Maybe his brachas are gold. Maybe he has a meritic kayach of giving brachas. But I could tell you why it happened. For one reason. And it happened because you were mavater. And when a person is mavater, HaKadosh Baruch Hu showers him with bracha. And Rabbi Yisai, this is so negeya to all of us in life. Whether it's between husband and wife, whether it's between children and parents, whether it's between Rebbeim and Talmidim, or Talmidim and Rebbeim, or business people, whatever it should be, neighbors, you might be 1,000% right. Be mevater. Bring peace. It's worth it. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to shower you with bracha.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. Stories to Inspire www.ccc.org.